Of course, once again, my camera is moving a little bit. There we go. I'll try to remember to keep adjusting it. I can't figure out why it's doing that. I think I have to take the whole thing apart and kind of clean it. So happy Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's having a good time. Remember the sale that's going on. Hello, Francie. The sale is 20% off. Automatically adds items to your cart, or it takes it off in your cart. It goes through midnight tonight. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Penny. I just have my one camera on today. I decided it's just much easier. Hi, Heather. How are you guys all doing? All right. Well, we're waiting for people to come on. I'm going to show, I have a couple more cards that I just finished. I haven't posted yet. Hi, Melissa. And hello, Scrappy Gadget Girl or Jackie. You got your goodies. Woohoo! Hi, Luann. So I will have a post up later this week, early Monday at the latest, hopefully Friday, where I've made cards only using the inspiration box. And then I also added cardstock ink and embossing powder. So I didn't use any other stamps or anything else. And I have 3 of the cards finished. One is mostly finished. So I thought I'd start with this one. And this is using the out of this world paper pad. And then all I did was stamp beware, you're back together. Back tomorrow. Woohoo, Heather. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Sarah. And all I did was take the stamps from the stamp set and I stamped them each one of the little planets in there. And then I used an embossing pen to draw along the Saturn line. And then I kind of sprinkled some extra embossing powder on it. And then this is the Lagoon cardstock. Actually, it's a scrap. I count my sentiment out of it. I haven't even put it on card base yet. And then I created a shaker card. Hi, Christopher. I made this. Hi, Mom. I made this shaker card using the same out of the world paper pack. And then I used the die to cut the window. And then I stamped then colored the image on below. And then I threw in just a little bit of shaker pieces with some foam, with phone book. So I thought that was kind of a fun. And then I colored the tear pieces into like tan, so or gray, so you could kind of see the alien. I don't know what you call him. Hi, Tia. Thank you. The astronaut there. And then my last card that I have finished is a circle card. Now, this paper had a perfect circle on here, so I think I had to cut it out, and I used a one of the pre-cut card bases and a circle die from my stash. And then I just cut it out. And all I really did was I added you can see here, I layered a couple of these. Thanks, Heather. It's one of my favorites too. I layered this 2 or 3 times. And then I just cut out the sentiment. And then I layered it and cut the ed off so that I thought it was just kind of fun, so it can kind of stand. Now, one thing I did notice is I put this guy over a little bit too far, so he kind of rolls. But so, and then I can show you where the basis of my other card that is almost finished. And that's the 4th one I'm going to have done. So I have this image already stamped and colored on Perfect Blend paper. And then I took a piece of the gray cardstock from the stash and I used the circuit blend, the simple blend circuit. I remember circuit board, I think is what it goes. And I used a Simon Hurley ink to do that in the background. And then I stamped all of the stars and one moon, because this will be the top, with the shady ink. And I did the fairy dust. And then thank you, thank you. And then I'm going to put this guy right here. And I have reach for the stars. So this is going to be my final card. It's just not put together yet. It just looks like this. So, all right, we're going to put that away and move on. So I am going to take Sarah Scraps suggested I use the sketchy bundle tonight. I don't have the die yet. I have the stamp set. The die's on my wish list, but I thought I would do kind of a variation of that with kind of something Christopher said about using it as a diorama. So I took some dies from my stash. These are some rectangle dies and some mini slim dies. These are the foundation dies. And I took some, which cardstock did I grab? I think it's, I don't even have it sitting out here. I don't remember which one, if this is Holly or Scarlet. I'm not finding it right this second, but I cut out, we're going to make a couple, we're going to try to make 2 sketchy cards. So we're going to make a very big version of this, of the sketchy. Okay, my phone did fall a little bit. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with this thing. So all I did was just create a scene, and it's not even equal, but it's perfect. So we're going to make this, and then I pulled the sentiment set. Throw those away, get those out of the way, so that we can use some of these dies from the sketchy die. And then let's get these dies out of the way. I've got some vellum, I've got some other pieces cut here. And then I thought what we would do, hi Danielle, we're going to use textured wings, and I thought wild lines would be fun because the wild lines looks like sketch. So we're going to kind of play around with that. So we're going to start with the wild lines. I even thought you could make a fun background. Oh, hi Danielle, because she can't see me because she's on Facebook. Francie says hi Danielle. This, you could use this with your sketchy, with your die, because it would be fun, like the little lines, but we're going to go ahead and do something a little different tonight. So, all right, I've got my stick and stamp mat and my Misty, and this is a piece of aqua pigment paper because Sarah told me to use chroma mists tonight, so we're going to do that. And I just have this cut really wonky because it's going to fit behind our window. And actually I'm going to put it over on this side. And we're going to use our little window because I wanted a bigger version. I wanted to make a little bit of a scene. This is what it's going to look like. So we're going to use this to kind of do this. You love what set, Francie? The wild lines, the sketchy, or the textured wings? There is only one of the textured wings left in stock. It is in part of the retirement sale. So, and if you notice, I've only used, I think, these 2 sentiments and this stamp. I've never, okay, I've used a couple. I barely used it. So I thought maybe we'd make a fun card with that. But we're just going to make a kind of fun little, and we're going to just line these guys up here. Let's see, we've got him, and let's get our little zebra. I'm going to let the kind of, and then let's see what other guy, does another guy fit in here? We're going to do the lion. The lion's going to yell at him. I was horrible at it too, to be honest with you. Ooh, maybe we won't do the lion. He doesn't quite fit. Maybe we will do our sentiment. Here, let's move our guy off here a little bit. We'll do it like this. How does that look? I want them to kind of all go the same direction. I'm going to do this guy. We're going to do this guy. We're going to move our guy off just a little bit more. Our zebra off just a little bit more. We just need them to kind of line up. Kind of like this. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp this down. Yes, the scribble sent things on it. Yes, we may use that part of this tonight. That's what I thought would be kind of fun with this. Okay, just want to make sure that's good in there. I'm going to kind of wipe my hands on this because I haven't used every one of these. And then I am going to do some, for all of those, yes, could only do that part. I'm amazed by watching people who can do more than just, I mean, I can make the line go, but it cannot draw anything. So hopefully we'll heat and emboss this, but oh, Susan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love working with Brutus Monroe products. They're some of my favorite products in the world. Pretty much all I work with anymore, other than maybe some inks and some dyes. So I just love it. And they're great company. So hi, Cherie. I am using shady ink because I thought this kind of, it's not super dark black like the Raven Detail ink. So it's going to give us kind of a little bit of a different look, and we are going to heat emboss this. So with icicle. So hopefully we may have to stamp this a couple times because this is the aqua pigment paper. My little puppy's trying to decide if he wants to come in or not. I enjoy thoroughly working with the products because there's just such an eclectic mix and it's fun and the products are amazing. Francie says, hi, Fletch. He went out for his first run this week since he hurt his foot and chased 3 deer, ran off, got himself exhausted, but he came back. So he's been doing not too bad. So I only have one door open in my craft room because this is like an old porch and he won't come in when the door is like that because he doesn't like the fact that he feels claustrophobic. I think he did okay. Good evening, Cherie. I think he did okay. I wasn't with him, he was with his dad. 1 second while I grab my icicle embossing powder. He was pretty tired afterwards. So, and of course I'm falling a little bit. Don't forget to yell at me. I'm taking this whole stand apart and figuring out. The only thing I can think of is my new phone. This phone is too heavy to really sit in there well. Okay, so it is going to be off a little bit, but we're not going to see all of that, so I'm okay with that. Let's quick heat emboss this. So this was icicle and shady, and then we're going to make a fun background with some chroma mists. I'm just going to heat the tool up on my hand so it's warm. And yes, Francie, I'm not using a tweezer. I'm not using anything, but yeah, I don't have a craft mat. I have a glass mat. I don't have that one, so I'm okay with that. Okay. Looks pretty good to me. So now I'm going to try to hold this closer so you can kind of see the lines. See how it looks kind of like Etch-a-Sketchy? We are fancy Etsy sketch people. So now we got to heat emboss this so that, or not heat emboss this, we got to color this. So where's the center to my, there it is. Stick and stamp mat. So it can dry a little bit. It's one of those with the ball, things. So I think it's dusty in between, and I think this phone is bigger, so I feel like it's heavier. All right, I think instead of spraying though, I'm going to go ahead and paint this on because I think that will make it easier. I need to grab my water. It is some winning Etch-a-Sketch, isn't it? So I'm just going to shake these up a little bit because they've been sitting. I haven't used them in a little while. So you can tell it's not squirting out because I haven't used it in a while. All right. It must have a little clog in there, which is because I haven't used it. So we're going to pour some out. Woo! Lots of blue. This is turquoise. And then we're going to get some leaf green in there. All right. Wipe my nozzle off a little bit. And then we're going to go forward and let's see, do I have a big paintbrush here somewhere? Guess not. We'll just use this one. We're going to wet this whole thing down. All right, we're just going to wet the whole thing down. Sorry if it's trying to autofocus here. And because it's an Etch-a-Sketch, and we're kind of playing Liberty with an Etch-a-Sketch, because obviously an Etch-a-Sketch didn't have a colored background, but ours is going to be a Etch-a-Sketch of 2024. And we're just going to kind of dab some in and let it kind of play around. It's going to be okay if it goes behind the animals because we're doing Etch-a-Sketch animals. And then I'm going to just grab some water and just kind of mix it all together. I'm not going to worry too much about lines and this and that because it's a sky. And we want it kind of a little bit light. And then we're going to go ahead and do the bottom here. I'm not going to do the center right away. I'm going to let it dry a little bit before I do the center. Ooh, it looks like I didn't get that all heat embossed, or I didn't get heat embossed on all of that because Simon Hurley's inks are water reactive. So a little bit of the rhino's feet didn't get heat set, but that's fine. You can't really tell that much. All right. Then we're gonna go ahead and do this a little bit more, just to kind of give it some more grass. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of go in between the two and let it just kind of mold. So quick, fast ink blending and all that good stuff. We're gonna let it kind of mold together. I don't like the green that's kind of pulling up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down a little bit and add a little more blue. And we're gonna add a little bit more blue here and there because the sky would be different colors. Same thing with the grass. And then we're just gonna let this sit aside to dry for a few minutes while we work on our other card. But you know me, I can't let that sit. So let's grab a piece. I'm gonna just got a piece of the Slimline Aqua pigment paper. We're gonna spray it with some water and we're gonna do some quick ink splishing. I'm gonna use this ink up. Look at that beautiful turquoise. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm just gonna put that in there. Spray it with some water. This is just water in a spray bottle I got at my local craft store years ago. Smush alert, absolutely. And this is a fun thing I learned from a friend of mine. I'm gonna spray the back. I've shown this before, but I wanted to show this tonight. Look at what happens when you spray the black of. It flattened out. Yes, they are water reactive. I have done those too. And especially when they're dry. I'm just gonna throw that in there and we're gonna let this sit off to the side. I'm gonna grab my little laminated piece of paper here and let it sit and dry, and that helps me from getting it all over. And we've got a little bit more. We're just gonna smush some more. Yes, this is, so what you do is you spray one side really wet and then you spray the other side and it will, once you curl, it will dry, flatten it right back out. So we gotta pull this all up. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this. There's so much left because I poured that all out on, but it makes for fun backgrounds. We're just gonna squish. Hello, Linda. All right, so we're gonna leave that kind of alone. Let's see if I can get that in there and squish that around. Perfect. That looks like an under the sea background. And I'm gonna go for it and just wipe the rest of this up. All right. Getting a little off in the corner there, so I didn't want to get it on everything. Spritz my hands off a little bit just to make sure I don't get it on everything. This is one of the microfiber towels. Yep, it'd be perfect for die cuts too. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it. I showed you guys last week. I have a whole bin with those types of papers that I use for things. All right, so for our next card, I just grabbed a piece of scrap paper that's gonna fit behind. It's a gray color. There is a slate gray color like this that came in the inspiration box. That'd be the same, but I used it up. So this is just a scrap piece. You guys know me, I'm trying to use up my scrap paper this year. We're gonna quick wipe our stamps off. And let's see, what squeaky clink do I have here? Cinnamon hearts, my favorite. Especially right now because it's near Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's Day just happened. And my grocery store put those cinnamon heart candies that you can get on sale for $1 a bag. So I had to buy a bag or two. And I may have already eaten one bag. The other bag I have sitting in my car, waiting to go with me to my friend's house that signed up for spring fling, so we can eat them together while we're spring flinging. So we've got our wine lines done. I'm not going to use any of the sentiments from this set. It would work, but I want to use the sketchy sentiments. So next we're going to stick this in and we're going to do some fun. This is a little bit smaller than A2, but that's okay because it's not going to really matter in the long run because we're going to cover it up. And then we're going to grab the textured wings stamp set. And we're going to go ahead and stamp out a few of the butterflies. I think we're going to definitely do 4, but we might do 5. Let's do one like that. Let's do one like that. We're going to ink these guys up. The cinnamon, oh, yep, but those are, I betcha, Francie, I would like those too. I have the cinnamon hots, like Jello salad that where you like you cook down the red hots and you put it in red Jello and with applesauce. Oh, it's so good. I haven't had that in a long time. I should find that recipe. So I have not used the textured parts of these yet. I've used the outlines of these butterflies, but I have not used the textured. And I grabbed a bunch of, they're the perfect cinnamon. Then that sounds fabulous. I grabbed Crown Me, No Diving, Remember Me, Shooting Star, and Big Bee Sting. And we're just going to kind of ink these all up. And I'm not going to worry about them being perfect because it's my card. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to add a bunch of colors to some of these. I probably should have done yellow first, but the yellow, we're just going to ink them up a little bit here and there. You know, I always start with yellow, but yes, there is only one textured wing stamp set left, but I do know that it was in the bundle, the grandma's bundle the other day. So I thought maybe I would pull this in quick for another option for this one. There's the Remember Me. I'm going to throw in some Crown Me. Oh, I don't want to do purple on that one. We'll do blue on that one. We're going to do, this butterfly is going to be kind of purpley and red, and then we'll get the No Diving in here with the butterfly here. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I have one of our blending tools here. I thought I had an empty one. I'm going to grab one that's empty. Okay, so one of our blending tools, and I'm just going to kind of dab it just to kind of soften the lines. And then we're going to stamp them down. Oh, and my grandma's bundle sold out. Okay, well, I knew that we had one left, and I thought I would just kind of throw this one in for just different ideas that you can use. I hear some butterflies are coming. So, you know, you could recreate this kind of a card with that. And then we're going to go ahead back and we got to add some more color to some of these. So we're going to add a little bit more of the red right here. There, that looks better. And we need to add some yellow. I just kind of wanted a rainbow of butterflies. I didn't really care how they mixed because these colors. Hi, Sarah. I've used some Chroma Mist already, and I'm doing a variation on the sketchy dies. And then I think we'll add a little bit of this. So we're just going to create, and I mean, I'll bring this up a little closer for you guys so you can see. Very dreamy. It is. Well, that's one of the things I like about the Simon Hurley inks is that they blend really well. So I'm going to add a bunch more yellow to that one and a bunch more yellow to this one. And then I'll pull this up a little closer before I pull it out. So you can see how well that kind of blended. And then we're going to wipe these down and we got to add one more because I got to have 5 butterflies. And I think we're going to do this guy over here. And we'll pull these guys off. So Sarah, I have the sketchy sentiments. I do not have the die yet. It is on my wish list. It sold out before I could get it. And then I knew when it came back in stock, I kind of forgot about it, you know, and then of course I'd order and then I'd be like, I wanted that and I forgot. So, I'm going to do thank you, Heather. I'm going to do a variation using some rectangle dies to make a very big version. This one we're just going to stamp down in yellow. And then we're going to grab Let's see. I'm actually going to put a little purple in this one because purple and yellow are two of my favorite colors because of my favorite. You got some lollipops, yes. Some of my for my football team. Then we got some red. There we go. All right. So now the magic happens is with the outlines. And these are kind of like a sketchy thing. I mean, these kind of have a little bit of an etch-a-sketch feel to them in my thoughts. So yes, the 20% off sale goes off at 11:59 Eastern tonight. And then tomorrow there'll be a special freebie during tomorrow's live packing. So if you want to get, you just have to add things to your cart and the price will come off on its on those items. You don't have to add a code. But if you are a subscriber, you may have to log out to have it activated because you cannot have both your subscriber code and the spring code that would go in with it. Because I know someone had issues with that earlier. So we're going to go ahead and stamp these out. And I am going to go ahead and use the shady ink again if I figure out where I put that one. Oh, back here. Oh, you know what, Sarah? I was looking at your picture you posted in our base camp earlier of that, and I was like, I want a honey bear. I want a honey bear. I actually will take a bite of honey or a spoonful of honey when my throat is not feeling well. All right, look at those. Don't they just pop? And they're sketchy, so they don't have to be, I didn't have to line them up. Yeah, honey is very good for lots of things, allergies, all sorts of stuff. And then we're going to throw in our sketchy sentiments and we're going to start putting our stuff together. Yep, it's supposed to be very good. And so is Vaseline or Vicks. A lot of times I'll put Vicks on my feet and then and put socks on instead. I don't like sleeping socks, but I will do that when I'm sick because it will help me feel better in the morning. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Well, those of you who were on the live earlier today know that I had a little catastrophe earlier this week too, that not much helped, but I will tell you, I fell down a couple of stairs. Just coming down my stairs, I just slipped and smacked right down. I am feeling much better tonight. Most of the day it's been kind of a thing, but I used a heating pad and I super, super excited because I feel so much better. So it seems to be going around. Yep, local honey because it has to do with the bees. The bees pollinating your flowers that are local, so it tends to help too. I know, Francie. It was crazy. This is the second time since I've been in this house that I have had this happen. Okay, so I wasn't even doing anything wrong. I was just slowly walking down the stairs, and it's because I had slipped socks on. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Okay, so here is. No, I didn't pull a fletch. So here's kind of my thoughts of this kind of. Oh, we're not going to see all those butterflies, but I think that works. We're going to go ahead and grab our sentiments. No, I did not pull a fletch and break my feet. And I think we're going to go ahead and do thanks so much in this one. I think that's going to fit. I made that fit just perfect like I planned it. Well, you know what, Francie? It's not so much that, it's my carpet on my stairs. So it's just, I know who's sick, who's hurt. I know we're all sick and hurt. It's going around. It's going around. So here's my play on the sketchy sentiments. We're going to throw the sketchy, and then I'm going to grab the sketch ball, I think, in here. And then we have to make some decisions of what we're going to do. Are we going to put some vellum over them or not? So I've got that sketchy part, and then I think I like we're gonna use feathers balls, sketch balls. And I think we got to look and see what it looks like here. I want them to be kind of light though. So I might grab a different, if I want to use that one or if I want to use, I just want to use the other one, I think. This case. Oh, what did you call? I missed, I used the textured wings with some of the different Simon Hurley's inks to create our background on a piece of gray paper, Melissa. And now I'm using the sketchy die and I'm using the shady because it's not quite as dark as Raven ink. So it's a little bit lighter, kind of like that. You get that feel from like you would for a sketch, the sketch thing. I need to grab a lighter ink. I want Wolf. Wolf is a light gray. Yeah, she fractured her ankle to this week. So it's been kind of crazy. And Sarah's been sick. And there's been a lot of sicknesses kind of going around right now, to be honest with you. So we're going to add that one in. I'm going to pull this off. And we are going to add in the other sketch ball. Yeah, nobody wants to win this kind of a thing. We're going to pull this guy in over here. We're going to do a couple of these little sketch marks. They're very light. But I want them to be kind of light. We'll throw in, you may not see it down here, so we might, but I'm going to throw one in right here, and then we're going to kind of throw one in up here like this. And then whatever we see, we see. And we're going to start putting our thing together. All right. So those are quite light, and I'm okay with that. Now we're going to go ahead and pop this off. I missed what you said, Penny. No more leap year. We have, yes. Yep. No more leap years anymore. No more, no more, no more. It is. It's an infirmary. It's going around. I know my sister's been sick. She was on here. Tia, she's been sick. She went to the doctor and oh, it's this hit or miss weather, you guys. What did we have here in Iowa yesterday? 70 degrees, and then it dropped and it was like 20 this morning. But it's going to start getting better weather. All right. I wanted to make sure I got those cleaned up. I'm going to move the textured wings away. We're going to move this away for right now, and we're going to start putting our card together. So here is where I'm trying to decide what to do. We've got this little, and we can move this down because I can always cut it off so we can see more of that butterfly. So we have two options. I can grab, this is just a piece of scrap vellum that we can put, which you can't see it as well. I'm thinking I might use the vellum for the watercolored background because this one is quite light. And instead we're going to use packaging for this one. And I think I had some packaging I just tossed out. I do. Yes. So I think what I'm going to do is some packaging for this one so that it has that shiny feel look. What do you guys think? Does that sound good to you? So we're going to go ahead and grab some double-sided tape. Yeah, it's crazy with this weather. It's been kind of crazy. You broke your Heather. Heather. At least you didn't break the heat. You know, you went without air conditioning for a while last year during the heat. Now, next year you're going to share my hotel room if you run out of air conditioning. Okay? I'm going to make you. And then we're going to go this way. I'm just using some double-sided tape because add some pearl on the wings. Okay, we will do that. We can do that easily. I have to grab it though. If I had thought about it earlier in advance and had this kind of planned out, we would have made this one, and I would have put fallen snow glitter glaze on it, or fairy dust embossing powder. But we'll do pearl. All right, I'm gonna quick put the packaging down on this first. I love pearl. It's one of my favorites. All right. Oh, you know what? Look at, I'm about to cut down a big piece. Um, I have a bunch of it saved, so I've been throwing it away lately. But I find it makes an easier shaker card because I don't have to worry about the bits because I never get my foam tape lined up enough, for for the small bits, like if I want to use glitter or beads or something. We're going to just cut this off. So we're going to go ahead and put it down. We're going to cut this off, and then I'll go grab my pearl. And we're going to use the Pearl Aqua Pigment because that's my favorite. These are fun stamps. Blizzard Puffs. I don't think I have those. Blizzard Puffs. Oh, you mean like with the embossing powder? I have. So see, now we're going to have that, and then it's going to have that kind of etchy side. So Kelly asked about buying the larger embossing powder jars empty. I'm going to use my empty. I have my squizzy jars saved too, but I just use these because then I got some of the bead trays, and then it's so much easier because my whole card base will fit in there. Otherwise, I create a mess. Let me grab my pearl. Got to stir it up a little bit. But yeah, I saved both of my scoozies. I was thinking the same thing. They'd be good for something. I've got them sitting over there. That's where, like, so when I empty out my other embossing powders, like my icicle and my alabaster and things, I save those to put my embossing powders of the month in. And then if I use all of those up, then I will buy some. So, all right. Yep, I have alabaster. Okay, yep. I have alabaster. Well, I have quite a few, but I have a whole little jar here of it. I have alabaster, icicle, fairy dust, alabaster sparkle, just because I ended up putting it in, even though I didn't use that one as much. Gilded, sterling, and both my raven and raven sparkle, just because I have to. All right, we've got this. Now we need more water. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little water on my brush and pull a little bit of this out. And the reason I want to do that a little bit is so that it's a little bit more translucent. I'm going to try to get, yes, it is very much going to sparkle. I am going to do it a little bit down low. Now remember, these are water reactive inks, so I'm going to kind of just dab it instead of spread it because I don't want to necessarily mar the color and blend it more together. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm not going to do. I always feel you got to have some of this. You got to have some of the pearl in your mix because it's great for adding sparkle to anything from like this to adding it to one of your aqua pigments. If you want a sparkle, like your red, you want sparkly red or sparkly splatters. I'm kind of trying to stay inside the black lines. Sorry if I got a little quiet there. Concentrating a little bit here. Just because Penny's quiet tonight. She's concentrating. So some of the texture is going to go away a little bit from my stamps, from the pattern, but just a little bit. It's like this wing kind of had like a bubble, kind of like a tight bubble, like, if you blew bubbles. Have you ever seen the technique where you blow like it's not shaving cream, but kind of like bubbles, and then you put the print in it, and then it kind of got that in there. But it works. So add a little more water. Some. Oop, that one had a lot. That had a lot of water in it. That's okay. Just because I can see how it sparked out. And then I may decide to do the whole thing. I'm kind of ready for spring. I didn't have much of a winter this year. Can you tell me what size inside rectangle? I am not 1,000% sure. Stella, or Pam. Um, use Dawn soap with paint and blow bubbles and dip your car. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Not there's a shaving cream technique, but the bubble technique is kind of what Penny was talking about. Use Dawn soap with some paint. This paper is just some scratch paper, Cherie. It's like it's very similar to the gray that was in the this month's kit. It's a little different color, but it's just scratch paper. I'm using up scraps today as much as I can. It was just in my scrap bin and I wanted a light gray paper. But the other paper I used, yes, Gina K recently did the shaving cream technique. The other paper I used was the aqua pigment paper, and then this is the I don't know if this is the scarlet or the ruby, or the holly. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it is. I couldn't find it when I pulled it back out tonight. And I'm still kind of looking here because oh, here it is. It was the holly. Is it the holly? Nope, it's the scarlet because I can tell by the color. So, but this is just regular, and I'm not really getting a lot of water on it. So I do think, we got to use up our stashes sometimes. So I'm trying to use up paper scraps as much as I can, especially when it's going to go behind something. I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the outside parts just because. Oh my gosh, Heather, great idea, Heather, 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 Heather. All right. So I am going to kind of hit this with a heat tool. Shaving cream and reinkers. Yep, it is fun. I didn't see it because I think it happened maybe during my lunch break, maybe alone, and I didn't watch it. I don't. I usually kind of sit, eat, and spend time with my puppy. Okay. While we're doing that, I am actually going to add just a teeny bit of splatter to it because I actually missed a couple spots and got some splatter on it. So we're going to add a little splatter. Covering your eyes, yes. I actually have never done that either. Here, Francie, just for you. I've worked in kitchens for so many years that my fingers don't. It does look watercolored. That's one of my favorite things about his inks. Okay, so we're going to let it dry a little bit more on its own, and we're going to pull up the other one here quick. So I'm going to try to show you that sparkle. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. I know, I understand, and I get that. You should have seen all this stuff. I used to have all sorts of this. Hi, John from Orlando. I didn't see you. I apologize. I was heat embossing. We're going to quick heat set this one. Thank you. Just a little bit. Dry it just a little bit. It's still a little wet. But we don't need to worry about it being too super wet because we're going to put it together. Now I could run this through my fuse and I could run it through with a dry embossing, but we're just going to leave it the way it is. But I do want to get my sentiment on here quick. Yeah, I try to do it and I try always to take one photo. We're going to take up that beautiful aqua pigment there. I try to always take a photo with a shine to it. If I can, so that when I do post them, you can kind of see it in the one photo, like the close up, I will try to do that. All right, sketchy sentiments. Hello, I'm drawn to you. Thanks so much. Happy birthday. You're a classic. That seems sketchy. If only wrinkles faded so easily. This would be a fun one. This if only ink wrinkles would be fun with the elephant, you guys. For a birthday card. That would be a fun card right there. So I think we're just going to do hello. And we're going to just kind of do it as straight there as we can. I think I got to move it just a hair up. And then once again, we're going to use the Shady. And this is wet, so I do need to heat emboss. We're going to use the Shady here. Oh no, this is Wolf. That's too light. We need the Shady. Yeah, I just saw that and I was like, that's kind of fun. That would be a fun birthday card for Over the Hill. Maybe for Heather's birthday coming up in a couple years when she gets to big 50. Heather, I'll make you that card. How does that sound? I only tease you because we're about the same. We're the same age, so we're just a couple months apart. But she's gonna beat me to it. Pam, if you download the digital card stitch from the website, you can measure the inside of the screen. Yes, I don't remember exactly what size it is. I had something prior in the past that I had it written down on, but that I don't have that piece of paper anymore for when it came out, when the release came out. So I don't remember. I apologize. We're going to move this die over because I want to use this little sketchy piece. I know, 2025. It's coming, Heather. Next year, not this year, next year. We're coming. It's coming up on us fast, isn't it? I'm embracing it. Age is irrelevant. Age is just a number, right? All right. So we got the little sketchy thing here. And I'm going to leave that alone. I don't think I'm going to put the heat embossing on. Well, I did say we were going to heat emboss it, but I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is instead of add to that. I changed my mind. And now we got to put our stuff together. Let's get our sentiments out of here. So we got to start putting our card together. There you go. And I'll try to remember to ask you too. So here is our card, and I think this is the one I'm going to put I'm going to put the vellum on this one, I think. I don't know. I don't like to spell them, so let's see what. I didn't know for sure if I'm going to do our vellum. I think I'm going to do our vellum. I like our vellum better. Oh, it is about the same thickness. Same color-wise thickness. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we like the vellum? Or is it too hard to see it? It makes it kind of fun. But with the scene... First crafty person you've met here in Florida. I think I might leave this on. It's too hard to see? Okay. Then we're just going to go ahead and leave it because it's got the colored background anyway. We're going to leave it the way it is. So I am going to use the double-sided tape again because this is a little bit on the warp side from being the water. And that's fine. It's not a big deal. It's an option, and that was just a old piece of vellum that I've had in my stash forever, but I kind of like the idea of being able to see it. And it's kind of a fun take because, like I said, an etch sketch isn't this big anyway, because this is a mini slim card. And all I did was I used 2 rectangle dies. Just your humble. Anyone else? Yeah, that was Francie's opinion. Is there anyone else? Should we use the vellum or should we leave the vellum off? I don't know if I want to put, I could put packaging on it again so that it's shiny. But I kind of like the idea of maybe we'll put the packaging. I think we'll do the packaging. We'll do the packaging. We've got it. Yep. Okay. Off. Everyone says off. I will agree with you, but we'll put the packaging, make it shiny. How does that sound? We'll compromise. We'll do that again. We've got leftover packaging here, so I'm just going to stick it down there, and then we're going to cut it off. If it was just maybe words, I would use the vellum maybe. Or if you did like a very bold, like you could do die cut letters in a very dark color, maybe to make it bolder, but it does make the scene kind of hard to see. All right, so we've got this one, and this one is dry too. So we're going to go ahead and put them on. But I thought it would be fun to give them just a little bit of lift. So, you know, instead of it flat to the card, I think I'm going to put up just a little bit of lift. So I've got my card bases. We're going to put those on first. This is one of the mini slim card bases. And like I said, I just used a rectangle die from my stash. For this one, you could just cut it down on the outside and then use like a slimline rectangle or an X-Acto knife and cut it. But we're going to go ahead and put this one, we might have to put together, but this one we can go ahead and put. This is one of our pre-cut. There you go. 1 13/16 by 1 1/4, Pam. Thank you, Christopher. I was not 100% sure. It's perfect for the sentiments and you know, but for our little scene, I wanted to do kind of like I said, a spring off of it. We're going to go ahead and put this down first. And then I'm going to put some foam tape on this, and then we will put this on. So I just cut this piece to the front to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Sorry for hitting the camera right there. I noticed. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just didn't know for sure. It's just been long enough since I've. All right, we got to grab some foam tape here. This is just some foam tape. Like I said, I've had in my stash. I've used it before. I couldn't tell you. Trying to use up stash things. I like to use layered cardstock for the most part instead of foam tape anymore, but I have this, so I'm going to use it. Because I do not want to be wasteful. Oh. Something went weird there. Yeah, I said if I would have had it measured out, but I did not have it handy myself. Okay, put that down. And then we got one more piece here. Just using my crappy scissors here. I should probably use my better scissors so it doesn't stick. And then we're going to do the same thing with this piece. But I'm going to put this one together first. Okay? Yes. Nope. You do not need to do any of that, Melissa. Nope. You will be just fine. You're going to have a great time. Wrap yourself in bubble wrap. Don't go down any stairs. And you will be perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this a little closer to me for a second, you guys. So I apologize, but I want to make sure I didn't use liquid glue with this. I just want to line it up as best I can. All right, so we got our first one. It's kind of an etchy sketchy looking, kind of but kind of a diorama. Now what I did is that, no, no, I didn't. Stella or Pam, I didn't make my own because it's smaller. It fits, this one fits the front of the card. So I took that idea since I don't have the die, and this is like a card front. So it's like a blown up version with just a frame kind of thing. So I will, Pam, if I can find, I will go back through the archives and find a couple of pictures of, and reshare them if in the, or I think, Penny, did you put the link up before? There should be samples. If there's not samples, we can try to find, I can try to find some samples of what they are, so you can see them, because the die is amazing. And it's, but it's more for like the middle of the card versus this whole front. It's not going to be this big. It's going to be smaller. This is just kind of an idea of what I thought would be fun, since I had the stamps, but I didn't have the die. and I'm gonna get the die, and then I will show it to you. I'll probably order it with my next order. I'll add to cart tonight. I don't, trying to think if I have, if you give me a minute, if you guys give me a minute, I can find a card that I made using it. Da, 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 da. And then you can see it. I just have to look. Okay, I've got an Instagram here. Hopefully, this is my old phone, so I'm going to try to see if I can pull it up while I'm doing this. It's not going to let me. Pam, I don't know. You could. I think you could just. I'll show you a sample of what I just my other ones here in just a minute. If you wanted to make a giant version of this, you could use a little bit of that. You could use a textured an embossing folder or a textured paint cardstock. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you this. This is from like a label or the swatch dot types piece things. You know, sometimes you pull it off. I save these to put my foam tape on when I need to cut it smaller, and it prevents it from sticking to your scissors. So, you know, if you get adhesive lined things, we have the die release paper that also works very well. I just save some of this extra pieces from when I'm pulling them off, like double-sided tape and things like this, double-sided pieces, anything that's kind of got that release, you know, sticky thing, sticker paper. Yes, Sarah, that, and I have one too. I will post one, Pam, tonight. Hello, Lisa, how are you? How is the world down under? Well, not down under, but down under for me, down south. I am quickly going to peel this off. So it's not, Francie, this is nothing I came up with. I don't even know for sure where I saw this from. But like I was saying, from, you know, the swatch dots, I save all of these to put them on when I'm cutting, and that works really well with any kind of foam adhesive. However, I had to throw some away in the last couple of days because my dog found them. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Something just fell on the floor. I'll have to go. Okay. So this one we're going to have to go ahead and try to set up appropriately. We're going to go ahead and stick it down on here first. Now, if you noticed when I was making this giant version, this, you know, like this, I said, this isn't going to work for the same for the die. The die is different. This is like a card front size. Hi. Uh-oh. Fletch is here. He thought he should come eat our paper, you guys. I cut this up a little and made it wider at the bottom like an Etch-a-Sketch would. So I'm gonna trim this off a little bit. Yes, this is a fun set. And you know, I mean, I love the You Are Classic to go with it because that can be for so many different things. You know, if somebody's having a themed party that's an 80s party, there's a lot, the retro released. If you haven't checked out the retro release, there are still some other items like the puzzling stamp and die and stencil, which I do have. And there we go. We've got this. We're going to center this on our card. And then, so yeah, you know, the animals are off a little bit, but it kind of makes it feel like it's flowing. And then, Francie, this is, I used a different die for the circle, and this one has a stitched in it, so that would give it a little bit. And I think, to be honest with you, I could take, let's see if I have it over here, Woof, and I could add a little bit just to the edges to give it so it's not so white. Yes, Pam, are you in the Facebook group, the fan club group? It's Brutus Merle fan club group. That you can look things up from the retro release, but I will definitely do that when we get off tonight. I will find a couple of samples and I will try and tag them in there. Hi, Tina. So yes, Google it in, Pam, and like I said, I will see if I can find a couple, and I will tag you in them too, just to make sure you saw them. So the die is fun because it's got the other instruments. It's got the sketchy sentiment so that you can add that to this. Like I said, this is just a giant version that is for like a diorama. Um, the sentiments fit perfectly inside the die, like just perfect. So Francie, we're gonna just add a little bit of color to these two, because I didn't do that. Just gonna add a little woof. Just to kind of make them more dimensional. So we got to get a little more woof on my thing because it's not really, I don't want to get them too dark. Oh, okay. Well, we will get you in there, Pam. One of us will approve you tonight as soon as we get. I can't do it right now because my phone is filming. But if Penny can go in and otherwise do it, otherwise I will do it as soon as we get done, and then I will tag you and stuff. Yes, Tina, it is a wonderful die set. I made a giant version using Candy. I found mine and messaged it to you. You can add it to your post if you want. All right, I will, Sarah. Thank you. I will add that in tonight. Because it is a fun set. I took some rectangle dies to kind of make a giant card version size using different stamps. But like I said, the die is perfect for the stencil, for the sentiments. They will fit in perfectly inside. So there you go, Pam. You'll just improved. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sarah Scraps is the one who suggested using the sketchy bundle tonight. And so what I did is I used the sketchy sentiments. And then I went through my stash and I found the textured. This is one of the part of the retirement sale, so hopefully some of you guys got it picked up. I knew a bunch of it went through, but the textured wings kind of had the sketchy type things on it. And I kind of made like a diorama type card. You could totally make this a shaker card. And then I used the wild lions from the Safari release, and that has those all those fun little squigglies. And like I said, the elephant would be perfect with the if only wrinkles faded so easily, and then you could put happy birthday on the inside. Well, yeah, well, I thought you did too, but you did say chroma mists, and we did use 2 chroma mists tonight, Sarah. So we did that on this one. So I hope you guys had fun. I enjoyed being with you guys tonight. I'm gonna head off because my Iowa Hawkeye girls are playing against my home state of Minnesota, and I'm gonna go watch them. So don't forget the sale tonight. The 20% off sale ends at 11:59 Eastern. And check out Live Packing tomorrow for a special Leap Day surprise. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. I hope you guys had a great time, and I will see you next week. All right. Good night.